Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Indivisible, liberty and justice for all.
This isn't Ray's first rodeo, and I was in.
Who's talking?
Was that you, Kim? Are you watching Regis and Kelly?
No, I was watching the planning commission meeting, actually.
Sandy, roll call.
Councilmember Stacy Green.
Present by Skype.
Councilmember Kim Green.
Also present by Skype.
Councilmember Bob Hall.
Present.
Councilmember Ken Palfini.
Here.
Mayor Susan Tavalero.
Here, thank you. Any public business from the floor? No. Okay, moving on to the agenda. Council will consider resolution number 19-2020 to impose a 0.25% transaction use tax to fund the maintenance of, etc. Emily?
This is just a redo of the previous resolution, new number. The question had to be reworded to add the dollar amount that it could potentially generate, and also if there was an end clause. If there was not an end clause, it had to state so. And it had to be kept under 75 words. So Bob was able to reword the question to the voters and keep it under 75 words.
Okay.
I just have a quick question, Ms. Mayor.
Yes, go ahead.
Is it 260 or 270,000 dies? Thousand would be appropriate. The approximate generation.
260.
Okay, thank you. I know it's one of those. Thank you.
Any more questions on it? It's just the same thing with 5 words changed, right?
And so I'll move that the reading in full of the body of resolution number 19-2020 be waived. Said resolution be introduced and adopted by title only.
I second.
I'll second it.
Did you get that? It's been moved and seconded to approve resolution number 19-2020. All in favor?
And be read by title
Aye.
only.
And read by
Aye.
title only.
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay.
I move the adoption, move that the reading in full of the body, oh, wait a minute. I move the adoption of resolution number 19-2020, a resolution of the City Council of the City of Weed submitting to the voters a question on whether to impose a 0.25% transaction and use tax to fund a portion of the costs of capital needs for parks and recreation in Weed, to fund the maintenance of Wainema and Lincoln Heights cemeteries, and for general municipal purposes, including building emergency reserve fund, police, fire protection, and street maintenance and improvements.
I second it.
It's been moved and seconded. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed?
Aye.
Okay. Now moving on to B. Council will consider agreement for consultant services for sales and use tax audit services, transient occupancy tax, business license operations, and optional cannabis management. That's you, Emily.
That's me. Before you is the HDL contract, where we will contract with them to provide forecasting services for our sales tax, TOT. They also provide audit services with our businesses. They can come in and audit the books and make sure that we're receiving what we're supposed to be receiving. They do all of the collection for us. They will also do our business licenses, make sure they are collected timely, as well as give recommendations to the council as far as pricing. And I believe what our prices are currently set.
1961.
1961. So they probably could use some revamping, looking at. They also have an optional cannabis portion that currently, with only having 3 licenses, it doesn't really seem in our best interest as the city to exercise, but we'd like to keep it as an optional product that they can provide.
And I'm the one that kind of initiated this with Emily, and the fact that HDL provides these services between, I think, 400 to 500 cities and counties throughout the state. And what they were able to do for us and provide us is an accurate, as she said, a big thing is our sales tax forecasting and following all the trends within the marketplace itself. HDL has access with the state's sales tax database, which is confidential for businesses, and but they do have access to that. And what they're able to also do is perform random audits with some of the folks that have business that collect retail, or if there's a situation where they see some anomalies, they will go in and look for those things. They do offer that as a service as well, where they keep a percentage of it for, if this is for new that they were able to go out and capture. For instance, if we have a business that is not remitting the proper amount of sales tax, they can go in, do it, find it, and recover that for us. And we have, that's one of the abilities we have with them as well. And with the TOT, they do the collection. Again, everything goes. The other thing that's kind of nice to this as well is this can all be done over the internet, the TOT collection, as well as the business licensing. That will help alleviate a lot of folks from having to come down here. I don't believe we currently offer that online right now, do we, as far as the business licenses?
Just the application.
Just the
online,
application.
but yeah.
Where the businesses, it'll be much easier for them to go online and fill out the form and remit it over online, as opposed to the way it's done manually now. And the other thing is, Emily had sent you guys or given you guys a report here from HDL that kind of, this is just a sample of the amount of data that we will get from them. And this data and what you see before you is, I think it's $350 a month is our cost to have this. But they will go through here and essentially set up a City of Weed sales tax update, showing our sales tax by the major business groups. Kind of gives you an idea. They do put the top 25 producers in there too, essentially in alphabetical order, because they can't, of course, divulge any of that information because it is confidential. They also provide reports per capita versus what we're doing currently versus county, California as a state. So, but the thing that I particularly enjoy working with these guys is the fact that they stay on top of economic indicators. And so if there are some things out there that we need to be aware of, this is the place to go. So, and this will also help us a great deal because right now, essentially what we do is we get a check from the state each month for our sales tax collection. And then if we want to go down and manually go through the system, which is...
It's very archaic. It's super hard to follow. The amount of time it would take to go through the sales tax statement to figure out who went where and whether there were any anomalies, that would be my full-time job.
So for the past whatever many years, we've been just taking the Board of Equalization's
Word for it?
word
Yes.
for it?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
It's very difficult, as Emily said, for us to be able to go out and, knock on doors and perform the audits.
It's just the little things you find out after you.
Yeah, well, and that's the thing too, is since they have access to all of this throughout the entire state, they can see I'm just throwing this out there, a restaurant, let's just put, I don't want to name any names, restaurant XYZ, and there's 500 of them throughout the state. And they know, based on our per capita, based on our geographics, what that particular restaurant should be doing. And if it's only, at 30%, and that's all we're capturing, then they can step in, like Emily said, perform an audit, and if they find some additional revenues in there, then we get to capture that, and they get a percentage of it for a couple of years, and then after that, it's 100% ours. So that's a part of the service as well, so.
So,
I have a question.
go ahead, Stacy.
You guys were mentioning how the TOT would be assisted with this. Is there any way that assists our process? Because we know we have challenges on our total amount in our budget and how those monies are diversified. You mentioned TOT and the explanation of them assisting. How do they assisting with, you just said collecting the money. Is that the only process that they do? Or is there any other economic help that they help us with that?
It would be primarily just capturing the revenue and streamlining it for all of our hotels, Airbnbs, and our RV parks. Streamlining it in a fashion to where they're not having to manually fill out a form and send in a check every month, and then we have to.
I have a lot of calculation errors because it is all manual.
Yeah.
On their side and our side.
But it's strictly on the revenue side, Stacy. And again, if they have the indicators knowing that, in any time of the month or this month within the year, what those particular hotels should be performing at based on what's going on around the state. So if there's some anomalies there, they can help us capture those as well. But it's really helpful.
That part is great. I understand that. And I guess the brochures in our boxes, I didn't see that the other day, so I don't have that. That's not attached to our meeting agenda, right?
We send it to you via email.
Probably like 2
Okay, I'm
minutes
sorry.
ago,
I'm trying to get
Yeah.
everything together, but thank you for that. I'm glad to hear that. I was hoping that there was a silver cloud with the TOT funds that we've been doing. I know I've been doing for 8 years, and it'd be helpful for that. But I understand it still can help us though find some missing accounting or something process or people,
Yes.
deliveries or customers, and help us financially. So it sounds great.
So it's $350 a month
For the sales tax portion of it.
for the service? Oh, just the sales?
Yeah, see, what you got before you as a contract is for the sales tax collection, the TOT collection, and then the business license collection as well.
So those are three different,
Those are the three different
Three
services.
parts of the same contract, correct.
okay.
For the same
So you
amount.
have, go ahead, Bob. Sorry.
Is that for the same amount?
Yeah, so the business licenses are based off of how many business licenses they issue. So for each one over 12 months, so the dollar value on the, my report is an estimate based off of how many I know we have currently. So that's why it says estimated to be less than 20, I believe. So depending on how many business licenses we have, they could charge us more. How many businesses submitting sales tax, TOT money could be more. Does that make sense? It's not a flat fee.
Okay.
Does that make it? I'm not
So-
sure how else to explain that.
There's a breakdown of their charges in.
Yes,
Yeah, there is.
in the contract.
Page
correct.
17 of 19 has the,
So my big question would be, we have an estimated annual cost of less than 25,000, but as little as, it's not zero.
No,
Are we, because if we're going to hit $25,000, that's a lot of recovering on sales tax on a maybe.
yeah. Well, and the other thing, what it provides us is the efficiency within our finance department right now. I mean, we've cut that department in half down to 2 people from 4, and then we've cut their hours down via the furloughs. So, and some of the folks that we had that were here prior to this were ones managing and doing the TOT collections and the entry to that. That would be a big help for us.
So this will be a contract basis versus a manpower employment basis? Is that
Yeah,
for this?
it kind of help offset some of that as well. But we also feel like once the service is up and running, that we feel pretty confident that they might be able to help us find, so like say, some of those anomalies out there that are not getting reported, or things that, right now we have nobody out there advocating for us.
They're going to recover that much.
Yes.
Hopefully.
Hopefully, yes. And we will see, because right now, and I'm probably pulling back the curtain a little bit more than I should, but I think to be transparent, by cutting the finance department in half with 2 people and then trying to, Emily spends a great deal of her time up there, taking water bill payments and doing some of this stuff, and spends very, very little time in her office, and where she and I need, and the rest of the staff need, that time devoted for, budget management, revenue forecasting, those type of the things, the day-to-day things that a finance director is involved in. Unfortunately, right now, she's involved in a lot of the minutia, I guess you could say, and I think this will help.
This will alleviate that.
Exactly. And I think it'll improve our efficiency. And I think also as far as our businesses and our hotel operators, as well as our RV parks and Airbnb folks, it'll make it much easier for them to do business as well, because it's all streamlined for them
Thank you.
as far as the collection goes. And this is a contract, I believe we can terminate at any time.
It's at will.
Yeah, so if 6 months, 8 months from now, we decide the service is not, paying off to what we think.
That was my next question.
Yes, we can cancel at any time.
When do they start?
Well, probably,
If
I
we
would,
approve this.
I think probably, hopefully in August.
Yeah, the
So,
intention is August.
yeah. But their big forte is helping cities with a lot of the revenue forecasting, because that's key to everything that we have to do.
Tim, it sounds as if it's something that, as far as we're becoming more and more dependent on sales tax through our 0.25% increases. It sounds like if we're going to be dependent on that and to be able to forecast from that, it's going to mean that this data would be helpful as far as forecasting.
Sure.
Because if we get into means we're dependent on it now. It's
Oh, yeah.
not just our library and our senior program now.
Sure.
We're going into commitments with the rec department. We got commitment, with the cemetery.
Sure.
So
I think so too. I think this is just another tool in our toolbox to have, and I think it could be very valuable to the organization.
I know that Bob and I will be looking for the streets to be assisted.
that's the next one.
There you go.
I heard they were coming up to Dollar Avenue.
Yeah.
I move the agreement for consultant services for sales and use tax audit services, transient occupancy tax operations management services, business license operation management services, and optionally cannabis management services be approved.
A second?
I'll second it.
Do you have something, Stacy?
Either one, me or Bob, that's fine.
Okay. It's been moved and seconded to approve, I'm trying to get the wording on this. The agreement. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay. We don't need a second one, right?
No.
Okay. I'll be interested to see that.
Well, there is a resolution on this as well that you have to,
Is there a resolution?
Is that the next one?
yeah, the next one.
See, okay.
It's tied into it. I'm sorry.
That's all right. I'll find the wording on it here. Okay, council will consider resolution number 20-2020, 2020. Authorizing an examination of sales
As
using.
soon as I find it, I'll even
I
read
know,
it.
yeah.
Boy, I think I'll find it in paper quicker than my computer. You got it up and
Yeah.
running? You can go ahead and do it. If you've got it, I'm still trying to find the darn
Me
thing.
too.
What page was it on? 17?
Immediately following the last page of the contract.
Way down there.
That's way down there.
The last 3 pages.
I'm already there. There we go. I move the resolution number 2020 be read by title only.
A second?
It's been moved and seconded by title only. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed?
Aye.
I move the adoption of resolution number 2020, let's see, 2020-2021, 2020, a resolution of the City Council of the City of Weed authorizing examination of sales, use, and transit tax records.
A second?
I'll second.
It's been moved and seconded for resolution 20-2020. All in favor?
Aye.
Any
Aye.
opposed?
Aye.
Just took us a while to get there.
Okay. You are not opposing, Stacy, right?
That's correct. I said aye.
Okay, you're a yes. All right.
Oh, still right. It's been late. My voice response, sorry.
Okay. All right.
And we're going on to our next item for the closed session. I was going to tell Kim and Stacy I'll be phoning both of you in to the conference room, so via your cell phone. So I'll be calling you on that.
Oh, there you go.
It won't be on Skype. I asked that. They said it would, so it's not
No,
on Skype.
I said that, like I knew what I was talking about. So apparently, no, I was wrong. You got your
Okay,
phone?
thank you all.
Yeah, I'll be calling both of you here in a second.
I so move we adjourn the closed session.
A second.
Okay, we're adjourning to closed session. Tim's gonna call you both. Nod your head
Okay.
that you get that. Yes,
We going to the conference?
yeah.
Don't forget
We
us,
stumbled
Tim.
through that far, easy enough.